Well, hey there, Anthem. Here we are, and it is quite a crazy start to our school year, yeah? I did not think that our first chapel of the year would be done remotely. I thought we'd be all back together, singing together, but things are a little different this August, right? So we're here, and speaking of things that are different, if your church is having church online, that's probably pretty different. Something that you've experienced is very different. And at my church, which is where we are right now, we're recording this last Thursday. We record our services so that we can stream them online. And so I wanted to kind of invite you in to a moment in our service where we get to worship together. This is my wife, Bethany, and we're going to be singing together. So I invite you to sing along. This is a song you know, so let's have fun. Let's sing together.
When darkness tries to roll over my bones, when sorrow comes to steal the joy I know, when brokenness and pain is all I know, oh, I won't be shaken, I won't be shaken. 'Cause my fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Shame no longer has a place to hide. I am not a captive to the lies. I'm not afraid to leave my past behind. Oh, I won't be shaken. Oh, I won't be shaken. 'Cause my fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Every chain, there's power that can empty out a grave. There's resurrection power that can save. There's power in your name, power in your name. There's power that can break off every chain. There's power that can empty out the grave. There's resurrection power that can save. There's power in your name, power in your name. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Oh yeah, I'm standing in your love. Oh yeah, I'm standing in your love. I'm standing in your love.
Well, welcome back to chapel. I hope you had a good time singing along with us. And I want to encourage you, as we do these chapels online and it's recorded music, sing along in your home. Sing along. I know some of these songs we really love, and it's awesome for us to be able to sing to our God together, even though we're all separate. All right. So as we do this, encourage you, sing along with us. I hope you enjoy those songs and that they can be a blessing to you in the coming weeks. I want to kick off our school year, our first chapel of the year, by talking about the story that we find ourselves in. And story is an interesting thing, right? For all of humanity's history, for thousands and thousands of years, there has always been good and bad as part of humanity's story. We see that looking at history, we see that looking at the Bible and all the stories that are found there. There is good and there is bad in every story. And it's interesting, no good book, no good fantastic movie starts off good, in the middle is good, and at the end is good. That's boring, right? No. Everything has trouble or has conflict. And that's what makes a good story. Because you have to work through that conflict to get to some sort of ending, a happy ending, right? And so I want to read a few verses out of Psalm 46. Verses 1 through 3 say, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. God is our refuge and our strength. That's a lot of crazy things to imagine, right? Mountains falling into the ocean and the ocean just like roaring, and that's pretty intense. But what it's getting at is no matter how crazy and chaotic things get, God is our refuge. It says He is our ever-present help in trouble. And I want us to think about the trouble that we find ourselves in today, right? We look around and there's this pandemic. We are displaced from our school, from our normal classrooms. We are faced in the world around us with some social issues that have caused a lot of conflict between people. We are faced, perhaps some families in our school and that you may know are faced with financial issues as the economy is not doing great, as this pandemic has affected people's jobs. All sorts of troubles. We've got a fire burning in the hills over here, right by Salinas, and it's causing a lot of trouble and a lot of conflict in a lot of people's lives. So trouble is all around us, and as I think about that, I'm reminded of the story, going back to story, the story of the Israelites. Now, if you remember, the Israelites were God's chosen people, and we read about their story all through the Old Testament. The Old Testament is a majority of the Bible that we have, right? It's about 2/3 of our Bible, and you would think, hey, these are God's people. Why are they facing all these troubles? But we read the Old Testament, and chapter after chapter and book after book, God's people face troubles, a lot of conflict. God's people are displaced from their home, just like we're displaced from our school. God's people were often displaced and kicked out of their homeland. And the cool thing is, as we think about this verse in Psalms, and we think about our situation today, and we think about the Israelites, we see that it is through trouble that we often come out victorious, right? It is through trouble that we often learn valuable, often difficult lessons that make us better people. So trouble is part of our humanity. Trouble is part of our history, and it's been that way forever, and it will be that way until we're gone. But the good thing is that God is our refuge and our strength. So I want us to just think about that today. That's the thought I want to leave you with as we start this school year. You may be facing trouble, right? And whether it's a bad internet connection, or you're having trouble behaving at home, or your family's going through a tough time financially. It can be small, it can be big. Whatever it is, we're all facing trouble of some sort. So my encouragement to you is twofold. One, hold on to God. He is our refuge. He is our strength. We can turn to Him and ask Him for help any moment of any day. And two, don't be too discouraged by the troubles that you find yourself in. Because even though this is not an ideal start to our school year, I think we're going to learn something from it. I think we're going to remember it down the road, look back on it, and maybe laugh a little, maybe cry a little. But I think there's some valuable things that we are all learning during this time. So as we start this year, do your best online. Do your best to learn everything you can from your teachers. Do your best to enjoy the time you do have with your classmates on Zoom or perhaps in our learning camp. We know it's not regular school, and that may not return that way for a bit. But while we're here, let's hold to God. Let's get through this together as a community. All right? That's all I got today. So have a great day. Have a great rest of the week. We're here to help you in any way we can. So reach out to your teachers. Reach out to myself or Mrs. Young or any of our staff. We are here to help. All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.